here's how she looks now. Got the interior almost completely stripped out. Got those quarter panels out. Got the entire rear of it out. So it's looking pretty good. That stuff was definitely a lot of weight, so this is going to be a big noticeable difference, especially combined with all the AC stuff and smog stuff that I pulled out. I'm going to leave the dash and the door cards, at least for now, just because I hate having no door cards and you like cut your arm on the edges of the metal and stuff in the door. So for now I'm leaving those until I have a better idea, and the dash because I want to mount some gauges and stuff up there, so I don't want to tear it completely out. So this is probably more or less how it's going to look. And now I'm still waiting on the timing set to come in, so I can't do much for the engine, but I will get a shop vac out and vacuum everything up real good and vacuum up the engine and stuff and the engine bay real good while I'm at it. And then I'm going to start looking at mounting the seats until the parts come in to get the cam and the timing in. So that's where we're at, making good progress. Okay, so I'm out here scraping and cleaning the timing cover. It was super crusty. I wish I'd gotten a before shot of it. Here's what she looks like now. Not super duper squeaky clean, but I worked really hard on all the gasket surfaces and I think that's going to be good enough. I'm going to go with it anyways. Wash it down one more time and call it good. Put it on. Now I got the shop back in here. I'm going to be cleaning pretty much everything. Engine bay, actual engine, get the gunk out of the cylinders, all this crap out of the top. And then I'm going to start cleaning the gasket surface on the engine after I take the timing off. It should be pretty easy because I mean, most of it came off on the timing cover, so that shouldn't be that big of a deal. And we got the solid gasket out here, but that's super easy to pull off. So yeah, that's what I'm working on. Okay, so got the timing chain off, and that took like 1 minute, and then scraped all the gasket and stuff off, and that took like an hour, but regardless, I'm done. So I'm ready to pull the cam out, except I need to take the spider and the dog bones and the lifters out, so that I'm not having to pick them up out of the oil pan, and then I can take the cam out. So pull those out real quick and pull the cam out. Alright, so got the spider and the dog bones and the lifters out and pulled the cam out, which was all super easy. So here's everything that I pulled out. The lifters and the cam, obviously I won't be using anymore, but the spider and the dog bones I will clean and reuse. So yeah, I gotta order new lifters. I've got the cam right now, obviously, since we're about to put it in. And for leveraging on the cam, all I did was go to Home Depot and get this bolt so that I could thread it into the cam bolt hole and then have some leverage. So I'm also going to use that when I'm installing the new cam. So yeah, I'm just going to put the new cam in and set the timing, and then put the timing cover and probably the water pump on, because I've got all that and all the gaskets. So that's probably what I'm going to do for the rest of the day. Alright, so update. Got the timing cover on and torqued down, and now I'm working on putting the rest on. The water pump is actually on with RTV, so I just haven't torqued it down yet, but it's coming up on an hour, so I'm about to torque it down too. I give it an hour because I want the RTV to seat before I torque it down. So you just put it hand tight and then wait an hour and then torque it down. So there's that, and then I'm just working on putting the harmonic balancer on. I got this install tool, but sadly the bearing was too small, so I'm using this old piece of a wheel for the drift trike as the washer, because it's the only thing I had that was big enough, but it's working. It's actually on. Now I just need to torque it, take the tool off and then torque it too. So almost done here, at least for today. Okay, so tonight I am checking push rod length and piston to valve clearance on the Mustang engine here. So basically you just throw the head on with some Play-Doh here and then torque it down and turn the engine over a couple times, and then you take a micrometer, you take a, what the hell is it? You take a caliper and measure. It needs to be over a certain number that I don't remember, but I'll look it up when I get the measurement. And you check the rods basically the same way, except you just tighten down the rockers on top of the rods with 2 lifters in. So I'm just going to do all that for one cylinder, and then I can turn over the engine twice check them both at the same time, make sure they're both good before I continue anymore with the build. And that way I know if I need to order new. I'll probably get new rods anyways, because why not? It's like 20 bucks or maybe 30 bucks for a set, but I just don't want to know the right length. And so if I have the wrong length, then at least I know I need to order a checker. But from what I've read, most have said that these stock length rods for the setup I'm going are probably fine, but I'm going to check it anyways. And piston to valve clearance should be fine, but I'm going to check it too, just be safe. So, yep, that's what I'm doing. I'm going to throw the head on, throw on some rods and lifters, and some rockers, turn the engine over a couple times, and then take it back apart and see what we got. Here we go. Okay, so I got one of the new heads on. It's just sitting on studs over there, and over here I tightened down 4 of the old bolts, tightened them down good and snug, and then I'm just going to put 2 lifters, 2 push rods, and 2 of the rockers on, and then turn the engine over twice, and then take it all back apart, and I'll be able to measure. Oh, and I gotta mark these with dry erase marker. Can't forget that. Okay, so I did check both measurements, and for the intake on the piston to valve clearance, I got 0.1, and then for the exhaust, I got 0.12. So that's pretty much perfect. And now for the piston rod length, I forgot I need solid lifters to check that. So I'm going to make some out of the stock lifters, and then also I'm still waiting on some new lifters to come in, which I'm going to put in at the same time that I do the heads. So for today, I'm just going to make 2 solid lifters for checking the rod length, and then I'm just going to clean up some more of this engine bay. There's a lot of junk in here that I'm not going to be running. Like this is AC related, so I'm not going to need that, and I'm not going to run heat either, so I'm going to take those out. Just little things to clean it up. I'm going to vacuum it up real good and throw a coat of just black paint on it, just so it can look somewhat nicer than it does now. And this is probably the most room I'm ever going to have in the thing, so better do that while I have access. So yep, that's the plan, and as soon as the other lifters come in, we'll get them started soaking in oil, and we will throw the heads on. So here we go. Okay, so I removed more crap out of the engine bay. There was a bunch of vacuum hoses and some electrical connections over here that I didn't need because they were EGR and AC related. So pulled all those out. Now I'm gonna clean everything real quick and dirty and just throw a coat of black paint on it. Like I said, real quick and dirty. Not trying to make this a show car by any means, but this is the best opportunity I'm gonna get probably ever. Hopefully I don't ever have to pull this. I don't ever plan on it. So probably the best opportunity I'm ever gonna get to paint the bay. I'm not gonna make it super pretty, but I am gonna just throw a coat of black on it and just make it look nice. So that's the plan. I'm gonna get it cleaned up and throw a coat of paint on it real quick. Take with the edges and whatnot. So yep. All right, got the first coat of paint on there. Super quick, super dirty. Looks better on camera than it does in person, but like I say, this ain't no show car. I'm just doing this because I can't really pass up the opportunity. But yeah, probably gonna go 2 or 3 coats of this all surface enamel black gloss stuff. Should look pretty good. A lot of these like bad spots are gonna be covered up by engine parts, are really hard to see anyways. So did the front radiator support too. Not decided if I'm gonna do those yet or not. Those are pretty easy to get to. Probably will end up throwing some paint on there. So yep, that is those. And while that is drying, I'm working on making some seat brackets so I can mount the new seats that I got. And I actually stole the design from Zach, who's doing the same thing in his car. All we're doing is taking angle iron and drilling 2 holes in it that go in the stock studs, and then doing the same thing for the back holes, which are the same length apart, and then just gonna weld some tubing in right here and on the other side, and then drill holes in the tubing to mount the seats, and then paint it and throw it in, and that'll be the whole bracket. So that's the plan. So I've already got one of these made and test fitted, and now I'm just cutting some more and drilling more holes. So that's where I'm at. So got coat number 2 on this bad boy. Decided to go ahead and throw some paint on this stuff up here. Super easy, and it makes it look so much better. So I'm liking how it's coming out for the amount of effort that I put into it. And then here, I got these all mocked up, both a back one and a front one. So now I just need to take some angle iron and make some cross sections right here.